Look at that. Are you guys ready for hope for the ugly monkey baby trauma? See how we're doing. There is some hope today. There is some hope. How this light there. I like when the lighting comes on. Responding. Hey, there's Granny S1. Short Dog, welcome to your first day on Periscope. Iceman, LF Bill, thanks for the share. Moo smiling. We like that. Morning. Mr. Saxophone swinging today. Every day. Every day. Come on. I'm thinking Memo 909. Welcome to Periscope. 3Gia. Did you hear 3Gia? I talked about your song this week. I talked about hidden trauma yesterday. I'm thinking about doing a little concert. One before the end of the summer, and tune in for hope over the ugly monkey baby painting. One shell. Brenda, how are you, Brenda, with the gorgeous hair? Are you able to bring beauty into the world? Hi, Julie, monkey baby mom. I know. We have a girl from the South staying with us this week, and she says, ma'am, all the time. And I said, you can call me Ma'am Mom. So we got a name there. I hope everyone's having a good day. Cool, Ma'am Mom. Ah, that would be so cool. Well, I'm not doing a part of our trauma recovery for the summer. And if you joined in yesterday, you know that I talked about hidden trauma and drama trauma and how they both affected our country, how they affect us differently. And part of actually a Ma'am Mom is who I am now. Hi there. Thank you. Yes, I bet you're making a lot of people beautiful, Brenda. Anyway, we talked about the effect of trauma personally on us in the past, and we talked about yesterday about national trauma related to the drama of cataclysmic events and the hidden trauma of not being given what we need to thrive. And the thing that the organism of the body of Christ and human beings was meant to thrive in the universe of hope and the universe of being called forward into the possibility of what we are, what's in us, what's coming next, right? And when hope is deferred, what does the scripture say? It makes the heart sick. It gives us, and I think it was a strange feeling of hopelessness. Not overall, like the big stuff. I've got big stuff hope. You guys have big stuff hope, you know? God is on his throne. We win, all that stuff. But when you have a daily sort of feeling like they're coming for me again, here it goes again. Here comes the drumbeat of all that's wrong with our country, all the bad things that are going to happen, all the plans of the enemy. It's going to be so hard between now and November. And when you're constantly hearing that your country is bad, you're not good enough, that you're inherently evil and inherently biased, that we can never overcome, that the media is constantly going to control, it creates an atmosphere where there's a total lack of nourishment for the soul. And this is the one of the main sources of hidden trauma is not being given the things that you need to thrive. Hidden trauma comes from never being given safety, never being given unconditional love, never having both mom and dad in complementarian teamwork relationship. When you don't have that, that is a form of hidden trauma. Hey, Greg, I actually saw most of your show today while I was working on Monkey Baby. I was painting Monkey Baby while I was listening to your show, and I actually got to the hope point, which is what I want to share today. So anyway, I really enjoyed hanging out with you while you were broadcasting, and my friend, I want you to pay attention to my counsel to you that we've talked about in the past about taking care of yourself and the other stuff. So blessings. Thanks for all you do. Um, the issue here is that if we are deprived of hope, it's like taking the calcium out of the bones. You know, when a woman is pregnant, and this is when we say part of our trauma recovery is becoming a womb for the purposes of God. So we have this life that's traumatized, and oh, welcome. We have this life that's traumatized, and it is by yes, Greg. You know, if you, by the way, I'll just digress to a personal thing. If you want to call and get a little thought or mentoring or coaching on some of these things that you kind of brought up today, I'm your sis. Let me know. Um, but back to my train of thought. When a woman is pregnant, and the image I'm using is that as a people, we've been traumatized. As a nation, we've been traumatized. And some of us have very deep individual traumas, right? And so, as God is putting us back together, He's actually creating us as a womb for His purposes. So, it's not all about us, okay? It's not all about us and us just being better and getting what we lost. It's about us reproducing this new life, which is why the world painting, which I did, and I'll show you in a minute, and if you're new, I'll take you through the history of it, became a womb painting. But you know that pregnant women very often have massive, nice, Greg, have massive calcium deficiencies because the calcium is being leached from their bones. What? For the baby. What happens to hair, skin, and nails? A woman. I had a friend who said, you know, I have, she said, I used to have beautiful thick hair and then I had kids and then it all thinned out. There are certain things that are drawn out of mom and into the baby, right? So mom is needing nourishment and so forth. And there's a sense in which when we are the womb for the move of God and the womb for the healing, He's creating a wombiness of new life to take us out of being traumatized and into a greater purpose and into something beautiful and full. If we are not infused daily with hope, it's like having the calcium leached out of us. It's like having the nutrients leached out of us. And I feel kind of like this summer that over the long haul, I just was feeling leached, like just this heaviness. And Greg was mentioning it. I do think they want to set us up for a false flag. I do think they want to set us up for some things. And it's good to be aware of that. And that's kind of the plan. But we're jumping to heaven and we're saying no. We're saying no to violence, no to false flags, no to the enemy's plans. We are the regents of heaven, the stewards of heaven. The shalichim. Shaliach means apostle or sent one. Apostolic reign. Shaliachim is the word for the sent ones, and they represent those who carry authority. And we are the sent ones. That girl water skis every day, and apart from me, she's a really great water skier. I'm like one of the best water skiers on the lake, by the way. And she is doing a great job. I fell last week, though, at going 35 miles an hour. Bam! But we are the shaliachim, the sent ones, the ones with authority, the ones with stewardship, the ones that are carrying the family business in us. So it's our job to say no. As far as we're concerned, we do not agree with the false flag. We do not agree with the violence. We do not agree with a slandering of our movement and a pinning on us of some catastrophic event. No, in the name of Jesus, we're shutting that down. We're saying no. But what I'm saying is when it's in the atmosphere and when they're trying to get you to buy in and to fear and to what are we going to do and arguing, it weighs on you and it leaches hope from us, doesn't it? And my friend this week and sent me, my friend Rose, I love Rose, said, because I was telling you guys I was really discouraged with my ugly monkey baby in the painting. You'll understand in a minute if you're new. And so she said, you're giving people hope. And hope is the feeling you get when you're nurtured properly as a child, that your life is all about the possibilities and, ooh, what could be coming next? What's the next thing? Ooh, mommy loves me. Daddy loves me. Ooh, what am I going to learn? What are your what are the next things I can accomplish? Oh, I'm going to learn to walk. Oh, I'm going to try new food. Oh, daddy thinks I can do this. Mom thinks I can do this. Ooh, there's this contagious hope of what is possible and the joy that flows from hope of what is coming. But when we don't see it, we don't feel it, and the psyop around us is depression and hopelessness and an expectation of negativity leaches out of us. This is where I reached with the painting, because I had this great idea for a redemptive image, which I'll show you in a minute. Hey, Pepper. And then it just got, just bogged down because of my limitations as an artist and frustration. I've been painting Ugly Monkey Baby for a week and a half. And that got discouraging. But today I finally could see differently. And this is what I want to talk to you about. Revelation is for to help us see what's coming, to be called forth into life like a child, called into a healthy, nurturing family, where there's always hope. Hope, if you don't think about it, if you live hopelessly, you don't realize that the normal temperature or the normal pH of a healthy heart is, even if I'm struggling, there's something worth fighting for. There's something worth going after. And when hope is leached from you, it really is an energy killer and a drain. And when you keep waking up to your ugly monkey baby every day and going, I can't seem to get that any better than the day before. It was an interesting, hopeless view of my healing painting. But I want to show you, hope has everything to do with what you can see. What you can see is possible. And I want to show you something. I pulled these out last year, but I kept them in my paint box, and I saw them. Pablo Picasso said, I paint. And then I believe he changed his motto to, I paint what I think I see. And this is what he began to think he saw. Starting when this is his self-portrait when he was 15 years old. It's got wet, so the colors of the ink kind of stain. But he doesn't look like overwhelmingly happy. But there's Pablo Picasso's self-portrait at age 15. Fairly representational. He looked kind of handsome. This is Pablo Picasso's self-portrait at 25. How is he thinking? What is he seeing now? What does Pablo Picasso see about himself? How does he see himself? What's changed? What is skewed his thinking and his seeing that now, when he looks in the mirror, this is who he is? And now look at how he painted himself at 89 years old. We're inextricably linked. And now he is so, there's a great word for this. And obviously he's painting surfaces. He's talking about light bouncing off and reflecting on things. One-dimensional, right? But it's also very marred and grotesque. And he got more and more grotesque the more that what he thought about and what he saw changed. Now, is this fascinating? Can I find some artistic interest in what he's done here? Yeah. But what I'm saying is that you have hope based on what you can see and what you think about what you see, right? And so it's the reason why that we can continue to stay in trauma nationally and individually is because we are not able to see and think about what we see clearly from God's perspective. Because somebody can see and see the same exact situation and say, wait. There's something going on here. There's something moving. I can think differently about the same set of circumstances that you see because I know something bigger than just what is being presented to me. I can see more deeply into that. This is what visionaries do. This is what prophetic voices are supposed to do. This is what midwives are supposed to do. Midwives help a pregnant woman who is feeling overwhelmed by her body with the chemical, with the draining out of her into this baby and say, wait, 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 do you know what's happening with your baby right now? Let me tell you what's going on with your baby. Let me tell you what's changing. And then they can use ultrasounds and stuff like that. But if we can't see, or if we see and we can't think clearly about what we do see, it leaches hope from us, and we go into depression, and it elongates the effect of trauma. Okay? So we need to constantly be believing what God's version of events is, and that's why we need prophetic voices, reliable prophetic voices to say, let me tell you what's happening in heaven, because we're going to get what's happening down here like in spades all the time, right? So let me tell you what's happening in heaven. And so let me tell you what's happening in the womb of the remnant of God right now. Let me hidden from the media is something that's expanding and at some point is going to demand to be let out. And on November 3rd, there's going to be so much pent up demand for a voice that see it to turn into beautiful boy. You're having to go. There's going to be this, and I might as well do this painting, I guess we'll go back to it, was an earth in a universe, in a galaxy. It was a world. And I talked about its potential and its purpose in God, that trauma comes after purpose because the enemy always aims to traumatize us in the area of our greatest influence. So the areas where you've been traumatized are very specific. They're aimed to take you out in the area where you can influence the most. America was traumatized over this past several years because of the great potential we have. This earth was slashed and hurt, making bitter root expectations, teach you about overcoming, and then the earth turned into a watery shape to talk about grief, to talk about fresh flow of the spirit, and then ultimately a womb. An ugly monkey baby, now it's still very light, but the proportions are starting to come together for the face. The shape, the coloration of the body. I still have to work on the feet here. But for the first time, after going to this canvas day after day and going, is there anything good going to come out of this painting, out of this mess? Is there anything good? It's just taking so long. It's just not coming together. And finally today, as I worked on Ugly Monkey Baby, because I called him, I was like, this baby thing is looking like Ugly Monkey Baby. I mean, if I'm supposed to be bringing forth some beautiful artwork of healing and beauty, I think I'm like epic fail here. But I just kept going back to the painting. And what changed? I could see a possibility. I could see a little tiny shape that worked. I could see finally a coloration of the skin that was right, because I was messing with all these colors for the skin. There was a moment when I thought, oh, I can see that shape works. Oh, and that's affecting this over here. And it's those moments when you can see that the hope rises. It's the moments when you can see into what's happening and go, look, this whole thing over here, still a problem. This whole thing over here, kind of a mess. But wait, this one section here, wow, that has some potential. I might be able to work with that. I might be able to stick together with that. The skin color's finally coming. Maybe the shading. When I began to shape the baby's face with light instead of dark, for some reason I could see it differently. And then I could see that there was light in the other thing that's guiding me. I could see the light surfaces differently, and I could go, oh, maybe I should focus on that, painting that in instead of worrying about this. And this is how God restores hope, when we begin to see glimmers of what He's doing in us, and we can be able to think differently about everything else we're seeing from His perspective, because there's a light of breakthrough. And one little change in a canvas, there's There's another one. Can give us just enough order and beauty to keep us going. This is what's happening in America right now. Keep your eyes on the glimmers of things that are working, on the glimmers of hope, on the people that shine, on the instances that tell you something else is happening. That's so good. You had a dream of a pregnant elephant 5 years ago. That's so good. Well, you know what I dreamt when I was pregnant with my first son? I dreamt that I was pregnant and I gave birth to a chicken. I had a lot of vivid dreams when I was pregnant. And I had these weird dreams, really weird, really outlandish. And the fact that I dreamt that my first baby was a chicken, a lot of that's happening in us right now. We are an incubation remnant. God is birthing something. We can't always see it. And what we can't see, we worry over. And we're not sure. And in those final, God is wanting us to stay fixated on the little glimmers of hope that bring context to everything else. Stay there. Stay listening to those people. Stay with the midwives that are helping you prophetically see what he's doing. Stay out of situations where your perspective of reality is going to take you over here. Stay out of that. Those distortions. Avoid those things. It's really important hello, France. It's really, really important that pregnant women stay hopeful and positive and excited and celebrating and anticipating. And also because that baby senses what we're sensing. That baby, especially as it matures, picks up on all the emotions and all the concerns and all the hope. And that baby in a pregnant mom is waiting for mom to say, I'm so excited. You're so beautiful. I can't wait to see you. God has called you. Praying over that baby, loving that baby. That baby loves hearing the sound of Papa's voice, talking into the womb and saying, I can't wait to see you. And I don't know what that said about me, about giving birth to a baby chicken. I think I had a lot of fear in my life. I think that's what it was saying, that I was giving birth to a lot of fear. But, when a father talks consistently into the womb, that when the baby comes out, he can recognize daddy's voice. And very often there are moments of interaction right after birth when a newborn will be very fixed on the sound of daddy's voice. And in our family, after I would give birth, the doctor would take the baby over and examine it and put it under the table. And Dad, my husband Mark, would follow over there and be right with the baby while it's being examined, talking to the baby. And the little kid, they would go, oh, wow. Their eyesight was probably still, not clear, but they could hear daddy. And this is what we want to do. We want to be speaking life into the babies that are growing in us, even if we're frustrated, even if we can't see it. We want to be speaking life. We want to be focused on that. We want to be nourished with hope, which means we have to see and think clearly about what's really happening, right? And stay fixed on those moments when it's coming together, the moment when you can go, yeah, I think that's it. I think something's coming into alignment. I think I can see it. Stay there. Because it's from a part in a painting when you have a moment here, just with the face. It's very light because I'm still being tentative. All of a sudden, the face began to seem to me lovely. It's working. But I have so much more work to do. But that change in the face began to give me hope for the whole thing. They began to come together. And this is what we need. This is what we need. Speak life into the purposes of God. Call them forth. Celebrate the beautiful little things that are healing in you and healing around you. Celebrate every place you go where you can remove your mask, or you are doing it. Celebrate every place you go where you're reaching out in love. Celebrate every place you go where you can see the hope and you can call it forth. And let that be your focus as the baby is brought into its beauty right now, right? And I think if I can work over the weekend, then I can really start another level of major prophetic transformation on this canvas, and we can get her done. All right, you guys, bless you, and go do something that scares you on purpose, like stay with your ugly monkey baby issue and keep looking, keep seeing, keep anticipating. Let God give you fresh hope and a new way to see yourself and your situation and our nation, what God is doing in the nation. And I will see you